I'm Tom Hirsch, and I'm from Swisslane Dairy in Elto, Michigan. I'm a fourth generation dairyman, and I was born and raised on this dairy. So I was the biggest opponent of the robots, basically because I was coming back to the dairy, and it was going to be my first shot at managing a dairy, and I wanted the sure bet. Well, through the process of crunching numbers, we realized it was a good financial decision, and it was exciting. That was something that for us in this whole transition plan, having something that was exciting that was probably what made the deal. Was, hey, this is something my dad can get excited about, my uncle can get excited about, and I can get excited about together. We have 40 employees total at Swisslane, and that includes our cropping enterprise and our dairy. And roughly 30 of those are in the dairy. Between Dairy 1 and Dairy 2, just combined, it's about 30 people. We have 7 full-time equivalents work at the robot dairy, and that's 5 guys.
I oversee at Swisslane Dairy the robotic facility, which includes the milking barn and the dry barn. The way that I manage is I don't try to micromanage at all. It's my goal to always approach every employee as a mentor. I keep them within the parameters that the farm needs to have set. I let them know all the rules, but I do my best to empower them, let them decide how they're going to do it, and I just help shape the way that they do it so they have their own sense of pride in what they're doing.
My management philosophy is I try to take every guy I have and say, what's he better at than I am? And I'm going to put him in that spot. Because everybody is better than me at something. Most people are better than me at most things. So coming to that realization for me has kind of helped me say, okay, people are good at things, give them those things to do.
The way we manage our herd is we have two high cow milking pens, and we have also a low group, and we also have a fresh group, which is mixed with our first lactation heifers.
If you can figure out how to keep the cows with open access to the robot, I'm a big believer in free flow. I really like to see the cow being a cow. She has less decisions to make in the day.
We have to make sure that we're not disturbing the cows. Every time you get in that pen, or anytime you do anything that leaves them locked up, is going to be hurting your milk production.
It's easy to forget about how many steps a day one of your guys has to take, especially when you start a dairy at 30 years old, right? And then you hire a 40-year-old guy and you think, well, why can't you get that done? I've no problem. Well, 4 years later, I know. Now I know. Part of it is just efficiencies in space and trying to have as much work in an area as possible. You know, on our particular dairy, we are calving all the cows for a 500 cow dairy, and then we have a 8 robot milking barn right next to it. So one guy is capable of taking care of that over a period of time. It's just a lot of walking back and forth between barns. So right now we're in the process of centralizing our calvings from both dairies at the robot dairy, so I can justify just having one guy all the time in the maternity area, because that's really where the focus needs to be. So barn designs and cow flow and barn layouts are for me going to be the most exciting part of the next project.
Okay, one thing that we've also done in addition to standard work and protocols for treatments is we've developed job descriptions for everybody. Tells what's to be expected of them, what they need to do, and it gives some parameters to some of the gray areas that employees may have. I do a lot of one-on-one coaching, and that's when I show them our farm goals, how we're doing, what we need to do better at. But I usually try to do, every few weeks we'll sit down and do a team meeting. As far as data that we use from the robots, the big ones is the body health, the udder health. We use the rumination tags. It's very helpful. We also we do all of our breeding off of heat detection from the collars. And then the rumination is very helpful to watch because, you know, that predicts what the cow's going to do.
Our feeding strategy is to get as much out of the cows as they're genetically able to give me. To feed as much of our homegrown produce as we can, if you will.
If someone's going to start a 8 to 12 robot dairy, I wouldn't tell them to worry about the robots at all. The cows will figure that out and you'll be milking. I think the biggest thing that they need to be looking at is how they're going to manage the farm, how they're going to manage the people, how they're going to keep the people accountable to what they need them to do, and just how the work week is going to flow, how they're going to get from A to Z.
We've got 4 years of experience now to tell you for a fact you're going to save money on labor on a robot.